In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how me and my ECOM team hit $58,000 in just one day during the Black Friday season. Now in today's video, it's going to be broken down into 5 different sections to help you understand what we did on the build up to this day to make us hit $58,000 in just one single day. Now a lot of other gurus do similar videos to this, but they're very misleading videos because they only show you what they did on the actual day they hit the big number, and that is not what makes that day happen. It's what they do a few days before and a week before. And that's exactly what we're going to be showcasing in today's video, what we did a week before and what we did a few days before instead of what we actually did on the day, because like I said, that is unnecessary and that doesn't actually make majority of the actual success. So this video will be broken into 4 different sections. Part 1 will be the actual product itself, Part 2 will be how the product was found. Part 3 will be what made that product the winner. Part 4 will be the setup in terms of how we set up the store, what did the store look like, what was the logo looking like, how we named the store, how we kind of came up with the idea to make our store look like so and so. And then part 5 will be the Facebook strategy in terms of how we tested the product, how we scaled the product using retargeting ads, and how we scaled the product using lookalike ads. So if you've ever wanted me to do a very in-depth video on scaling, this is the best video on my channel for scaling, as I'm going to go into it in great detail and tell you exactly how I scale very aggressively. So in today's video, it's going to be by far one of the most crucial videos for you if you want to scale big. Now I just want to say, if you want to be entered into the giveaway to win the tool that I use to find this winning product, it's worth $240 yearly. Then all you need to do is like the video, comment the ECOM King 2020 and subscribe to the channel, and I will be giving one lucky person when we hit 1,000 likes on this video the chance to win a free membership to this tool called eSniper. And like I said, that is what I use to find this winner. Now let's just get straight into the content and show you exactly what to do to replicate some of the success.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So the product that did really well for us was a kid's unique smart toy. Now this wasn't just any smart toy, it was completely unique. It was a patent toy and it was exclusively just for us as the team. Now how we came across this product is there's a guy in the team, there's 3 of us, that does lookouts every day for products, and because it was Q4 and Black Friday and Christmas are the 2 biggest times of the year, we wanted to get into the kids industry because we know the kids industry is one of the biggest industries in Q4. We also know it's one of the most profitable ones, and we also know it's one of the most scalable niches. So that's the reason why I got one of us out of the team to keep looking for kids toys, and we came across a supplier that made his own toy that no other big e-commerce brand had. No other toy company was manufacturing it. It was unique, it had the wow factor, it was just honestly mind-blowing. I'm not going to be showing it today because I don't want anybody stealing it, or I don't want anybody to go on AliExpress and find anything similar to it. But at the end of the day, this product was so crazy, and when we found out the supplier was only selling it to one person, which was going to be us, because the supplier listed it on AliExpress as a product, but he wouldn't let anybody buy it. He only wanted people to basically send him like a CV of what they had, and like if he wanted to work with you, he would let you sell the product because it was his own manufactured product, so he had the rights to everything. With AliExpress, normally it's basically AliExpress suppliers manufacturing copies of other brands, but this supplier actually made his own product, his own patent, so nobody else could copy it. And his video on his AliExpress page was insane. When I saw the video with the team, we said we're going to go for it. We sent him our kind of like brief. We told him that we want exclusive rights to this product. He let us have the exclusive rights to just us selling it, and that's what we did, and that's how we came across the product, and that's pretty much how it all came around. And I'm only explaining to you guys in a minute how we actually found the supplier and what was the negotiation about. So another thing is, we saw the supplier had USA shipping, which was 5 to 15 days to certain countries, which I'll be explaining in the testing section of today's video. And also, like I said, there was only one supplier selling it because he was the creator of the product. So that's a little bit about the product. Now I'm going to move on to basically how we found the product and how we found the supplier to the product. So how we found the product is we went onto eSniper, and basically we narrowed it down to Viral Sniper, and I'm going to put a preview on the screen of what we did. We went on Viral Sniper, and then we narrowed it down by mothers and kids, And then we was looking for the rare, unique product. Because like I said, we were always wanting to go into the kids industry when we started Q4, but we were just looking for something that was unique, that was different, and nobody else was going to sell it. And that's pretty much what we did. Now, what we also wanted to do is we wanted to find something that was limited to certain suppliers. Because like I said, when you do dropshipping in Q4, if the product can be sold to anybody, any dropshipper, then it gets very crowded and it gets too saturated. So that's what the kind of requirements we were looking for. And as soon as we found the supplier on AliExpress, like I said, you couldn't buy the product. You could only send him a message telling him what the product is, what it's about, and whatnot. So basically, we reached out to the supplier. The videos were all on the product page. All the images were on the product page and everything. And as soon as we saw that product, we knew it was the right product for us. We sent him a description saying we want to get this product. We want to sell it. We showed him our track history of what we've done in ECOM. He agreed to our terms and he let us sell it. Now, the video of the product was absolutely nuts. It was like a movie trailer. I'm not joking. The product video he must have spent tens of thousands of dollars getting that video made, because honestly, it was insane. And he gave us full rights to everything so we could sell it. So that's pretty much how we came across the product, and that's the reason why we went with the product. And then what we got the supplier to do is we got him to make us a VIP link. I'll put a preview on the screen of what a VIP looks like. A VIP link looks like. It's basically a private link. So I told the supplier, look, I don't want you to be putting this on AliExpress anymore, getting people to approach you to sell it. I want you to make it a VIP link now so nobody else can copy you. No other AliExpress can copy what you've made, because that's what AliExpress suppliers do. They basically copy what other brands have made and basically make a copycat product. So that's what I told him to do, and he did exactly what I told him to do. And that's now what I'm going to be talking to you about in terms of what made this product sell crazy. So what I'm going to be covering now is what made our product a winner. Now, it's in an in-demand niche. So this niche is in demand in Q4, but not just that, it's a forever green niche, which means it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, kids products will always do well, and that's what made it important to us. The next thing is it was so easy to targeting parents on Facebook and other social media platforms is so easy, and the relevance behind it is just, like I said, just so easy. You can literally target parenting, mothers with toddlers. It's like so easy to target parents, and that's another reason why we went with this product in this industry, because at the end of the day, it's not just about the products, it's also about how easy is it to target that target audience and how relevant are you going to be to the target audience. The next thing is it was a unique toy, like I said, and what I'm literally keep emphasizing on in this video is we had an exclusive product that was unique. No other company was selling anything of like. So that's the reason why it was a winner. When parents saw our product, they thought, wow, this product, I've never seen this in our local store. I've never seen this in a toy store before. I've not seen some of the biggest companies make something like this. And then when they see it, they think, wow, our kids would love this. So that's the reason why it also did well. The next thing is it's underpriced. We were selling it for a price where it was underpriced. So when people saw the pricing, they're thinking, really? Is that it? Is that how much they're charging? Because it's so cheap. But really, we were getting it for dirt cheap, and we were selling it at around about $30 margin. Now, at the end of the day, guys, people, when they saw it, had a perceived value of about $200. So when we were selling it for really cheap, they thought, wow, it's either a bargain or I've just got lucky today on a good deal. So that's the reason why it also really did well. The next thing is the video for the product. And like I keep saying, it's like a movie. The guy invested tens of thousands of dollars into getting the video made for this product. And when I say this, it literally looked like a movie trailer, the video ad did. The next thing is we were the only drop shippers selling this product, because we only had the rights to this product. Nobody else had the rights, because that's what I agreed with him. Only we would sell it. Now, that means there's no competition, there's no lookalikes, there's no copycats, and the audience that we're selling to would only appreciate us as the seller. So if you take everything that I've just told you into consideration, all the points that I've just mentioned, we didn't get lucky, or like I said, we're not just like special, but at the end of the day, anybody can find a private supplier that's only willing to sell their stock to certain people, and then that way it's going to limit the competition and the saturation. You just have to do a lot of digging. Like I said to you guys at the start, there's three of us that do that, including me. So there is 4 of us, including me. There's 3 other people, including me, which makes 4, but there's 1 person in the team that does the research for products. Now, like I said, guys, if you do research for long enough, you will find private suppliers with private owned goods, and you can take advantage of it like we have in in today's case study. Now let me talk a little bit about the domain setup. Because the supplier had a custom product where it was only his product, we could literally call the domain name after the product name, so that made it look super branded, and that's the reason why we called it the domain name as the product name, because that way when people came to the product page, they knew straight away it wasn't just any store, it was an actual real branded store. The next thing is the logo. I'm going to put a preview of what the logo looked like. It wasn't exactly like the preview on the screen, but it was very similar. It was like 8 out of 10 in terms of similarity. Now the logo wasn't cheap to buy. We spent around about $350 on it from a company called Design Hill. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can find out that site. Now this is perfect site if you want branded looking logos, and if you've got a branded store, definitely recommend Design Hill. Them guys are great at making logos. We built a one product store, and in terms of the one product store, we designed the store like the preview on the screen. So I'm going to put a preview on the screen. What we basically did was we basically Googled some of the top companies in the industry of kids toys, electronics, and we went across their sites. Now these ain't dropshipping companies, let me just say this, these were real branded stores, and we took ideas, concepts of what we saw and what we liked the look of and kind of how they laid things out, and we basically replicated it and took some ideas. So like I said, let me repeat that. We basically Googled top industry companies in the technology niche, in the kids toy niches, in the electronic niches, and we went on their landing pages, saw what we like, and we took it into our own concept and redesigned it. Now the website we had was built on Shopify, but it was built from scratch. We hired a developer to build our site from scratch. Now you might be thinking, why would you spend all that money? Because it isn't cheap to do this. It cost us around about $700 to do, and it's not cheap. So you're probably thinking, why did you guys even spend all this money without proof of concept? The reason why we did this was because we knew from what we saw at the start, there was so much potential here. It was worth every penny. So because we've been doing this now for 4 years myself, I know everything in great depth. So I knew when I saw this, it was literally a golden ticket. So I made sure that we invested the money correctly to come across like a legit brand. And that's the reason why I didn't mind spending $300 on a logo, $350 on a logo, $700 on a website, because I knew it would pay off when we started advertising. The other reason why we were doing this is because we don't look like any other store. So we did this because no other store can look like us. No other store can replicate how we look like. No other store can buy a theme to copy us, because at the end of the day, it's a custom theme. It was built from scratch. Nobody can go on the code and see what theme we're using. It was built from scratch. Nobody can copy our layout, and that's the reason why we did this as well. So basically what we're trying to do, guys, is we're trying to put a stop on copycats with our store, because at the end of the day, if we've got a private theme, if we've got a custom theme, if we've got a logo that's $400, nobody's going to compete with us because they're not willing to spend that money. And that's the reason why we did this, because we saw a product that was literally a golden opportunity, and we want to try and protect that as much as we can. And if you guys can do the same, that is what's going to happen for you. You're going to stop copycats from stealing your ideas. So guys, now I'm going to be covering payment gateways. Now this is very important, because I'm actually going to give you lots of tips and tricks on payment gateways and the ones that we use. So we use Stripe and PayPal. They're the two gateways that we used for the site. Now, as long as you update your tracking numbers per transaction on PayPal, you won't have any issues with PayPal holds. Now you will always have PayPal holds if you're making lots of money, because it needs to make sure that it's regulated and it's real money and it's legit money. But as long as you put the transactions and tracking numbers inside of every PayPal transaction, you will limit the chance of you getting money on hold. So just make sure that you understand that. Now you're probably thinking, Cam, if you're scaling with silly numbers, you won't have time to add the tracking numbers for every transaction. So if you're getting 100 orders a day, it's going to take a lot of time. Now that's true, but we use a company where it will automatically add the tracking numbers for us, and I'll leave a link in the description below to that company that we use. It's not free, but it is very cheap, and it's definitely worth it if you're scaling and you want to make sure that your payment gateways are in the best standing order. And I'll also put a preview of the screen of what the website looks like and how it works. We also have a PayPal business debit card. Now PayPal are actually giving out to certain countries their actual card. Now the good thing about their card is if you got money in PayPal but you're struggling to withdraw it to your bank account for cash flow, because sometimes when you try and withdraw a large amount of money into your bank account, it can either take too long, it can take a week or 2 weeks, or your bank account might decline it because it's too large of an amount, or they might put it in like monthly renewals where they have to spend months checking out where the money's coming from and contact PayPal and work out what's going on. That's if you're depositing loads of money into a bank account. Now, that can really damage your cash flow. So what the great thing about the business debit card is with PayPal is if you've got $100,000 in a PayPal account, you can use the PayPal card to make payments. So you can add your PayPal business card to your ads manager and pay from that card. Now, with that card, you actually get 1% cash. Sorry, you get 0.5% cash back on that card too, which is really, really good. So that I do recommend if you're able to get the PayPal business debit card, it is a debit card, then do apply for it and get it, because trust me, it will help so much. Also, you're going to want to be using Stripe chargeback protection. Now, Stripe chargeback protection is one of the best things that I've seen in the last few years. It protects you from fraudulent chargebacks. It protects you from scammers that buy your product and then say that they didn't buy it and then get it for free. It's such a godsend, this Stripe chargeback protection. Again, it's not free. They take a small percent of your transaction, but it is worth it over the long period of time. Trust me, guys, if you're scaling, just get it. Don't even question it. I'll also leave a preview on the screen of what it looks like and what it's all about. The next thing I'm going to give you is make sure that all your payment gateways are set up as a business and not an individual. So when you're setting it up, either set it up in your business name, which is either your EIN number or your company house number, but just make sure that you're setting it up as an LLC or an LTD, because payment gateways prefer it when they work with companies, not individuals. So just make sure that you actually have a business set up. And when you're making this kind of money, you should have one set up anyway. But if you have your gateway set up in a business, then they're less kind of strict with you and they give you more potential. So just trust me when I say this, always set up your payment gateways as a company and not as an individual. So now I'm going to be covering the cash flow management, because obviously when you're scaling, you need cash flow and you need to manage your cash flow correctly. So we have 4 business credit cards in total, and overall in credit line that credits to around about $65,000. So we've got 4 business credit cards, but throughout of those 4 cards, it totals to around about $65,000 in total that we have to spend. Now, you might not have the same amount of money or the same credit line or the same opportunity as us, but what I'm going to say to you is we use credit cards with cashback as well, because if you can get cashback, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the best credit cards for dropshipping, and I talk about the best ones for cashback and whatnot. But if you're getting cashback on your credit cards, you can literally make more profit. So instead of making only 15% profit margins, you can make 20% profit margins depending on the cashback rewards. The other reason why we use business credit cards is because they have higher protection. So let's say, for example, Facebook basically goes down the day and you basically spending money on advertisements where nothing's actually happening. Basically, you can call your credit card company, tell them that, and then they'll dispute it, and then you'll get the money back. That way you're not losing out on money, which is very, very important. The next thing is business credit cards are preferred, because with business credit cards, you don't need to pay them back straight away. They actually give you in the UK 58 days to pay them off instead of just the standard 30 days. So in terms of cash flow management, it's a lot better. Now, the next thing is with business credit cards, you're basically not at risk as an individual. Now, this is a massive golden nugget, guys. With business credit in the UK, your business is its own entity. So if the business can't pay back its debts, you don't get blacklisted, the business get blacklisted. So that way you're protected, and that way you're not risking as much. And it's all about risk management, because you can spend 60K easily within a month, and if you lose it all and you can't pay it back, you're in the shit if you've not got it set up as a business, because that means you're 60 grand in debt as an individual. But if it's in the business, it's the business debt. So just try and manage your risk and your cash flow problems, because that's very, very important. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, guys, please try and use a business credit card, because when you're scaling, there are a lot of problems that can occur. So just protect yourself at all costs. And also with a business credit card, they're more likely to give you higher credit limits. So instead of only getting a $5,000 credit limit, they can give you up to $100,000. And that is why I'm recommending it. Now, as to get a business credit card, it actually isn't that hard, because business credit's different to personal credit. So just follow the video I made about this and it will help you out a lot. So now I'm going to be talking about the countries that we actually advertise to. So we only actually advertise to the United Kingdom, United States, Ireland, Canada, and Australia. Now, you're probably thinking, Cam, why did you only target those countries? Now, the reason being is because our supplier had US shipping, which is 5 to 15 days to these countries, and he was only charging us $2, which was insane. So we were actually adding the shipping costs into the product costs, and we were giving away fast shipping for free. Well, it looked like it was for free. That way on the product page, because on every product page that I do, I always put the shipping times on our product pages. Now, the reason why I always include shipping times on product pages is because that way you're being transparent, which builds more trust. That way they know the expectations, and that way the chargebacks and returns are going to be reduced. There's no point hiding your slow shipping times, because it will bite back at you, and then people will get refunds and chargebacks. So it's always good to be transparent. Now, again, to have 5 to 15 day shipping times, it's going to reduce our refunds and our chargebacks dramatically, and it's going to keep our ad score very high, and it's also going to keep our PayPal gateways and our Stripe gateways very positive in terms of feedback scores. So now I'm going to be covering the ad creative for our product. Now, the first 5 seconds of the video ad was focusing on the USP, the unique selling point of the product. Now, the reason why we did this is because at the end of the day, lots of people have seen kids' toys on Facebook, and they're probably thinking that one looks just like the other one that I saw the other day. So for us to focus on the USP, it got parents thinking, wow, this product I've never seen in my life before, never seen anything like it. I want to see what the rest is about. Now, our product video was actually 1 minute and 56 seconds long. Now, you're probably thinking that's a very long video. I kid you not, Facebook prefers long video ads compared to shorter videos. Now, the other thing is our video had to be long to explain our product in full kind of information. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit why this is important in the next few steps. Now, it shows each feature in action. There's about 6 different features to our product, and to showcase each feature in great depth, it needed at least 2 minutes long of a video to actually get that all covered. The next thing is it showed how to use the product, because our product was so complex and it was so different and it had so many features. It was so important for us to show the parents how to use it and how it worked, because we didn't want the parents to watch our product within 1 minute and think, okay, it looks really good, it looks really unique, but I have no idea how I'd get my kid to use it. We wanted parents to know that it was so easy to use, but it had so much potential at the same time. The next thing is all these factors got our customers and our consumers in the best state of mind to buy this product. And that is the reason why you want to make sure that in the video, you're highlighting so many different factors to get people into a mood to either go to your website or to buy it straight away. So guys, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about how we tested the product. I'm not going to spend too long on the testing part because the retargeting and the lookalikes were more important, but we tested this product with 20 ad sets inside of a CBO campaign, which stands for Campaign Budget Optimization. We set the daily campaign budget to $200 per day. We did 1 interest per ad set, and we wanted to reach between 5 and 50 million. We didn't narrow down by anything like engaged shoppers or anything. We just left it completely plain. We didn't do anything like that. We did automatic placements. We did the countries that I mentioned before: United States, Canada, Australia, and Ireland. We also did automatic placements. We did the conversion window at 7 days, and that was it. Then we moved on to the creative side. Now, we made altogether 10 creatives. So per each ad set, there was a different creative for the first 10. And then because we did 20 different ad sets, 10 ad sets had different creatives, and then we basically used the 10 creatives again in the next 10 ad sets. So we used 10 creatives to start with, 10 on the first set of 10 ad sets, and then we just basically did the same again on the next 10. So we duplicate. So basically each creative had 2 times used on an ad set, if that makes sense. I don't want to get too confusing, but that's pretty much how it worked. Now, we literally let that run for 3 days because CBOs take 3 days to optimize. And by day 3, what we did for killing and scaling was, if by day 3 an ad set didn't have at least 1 sale, we just turned it off and we just replaced it with a new interest. Now, if an ad set and the campaign level, if the campaign level was 2 to 2.5 plus in ROAS, then we increased the budget by $100 every 3 days. So we were very aggressive. So 3 days after, which would have been day 6, we would have done the same thing again. We'd look at each ad set, and if each ad set didn't have at least 3 sales, we would turn it off. And if the campaign budget wasn't at least 2 to 2.5, we wouldn't increase the campaign budget by 150 or 100. That is literally how we did it in terms of the testing strategy. And basically what we did, guys, is we were just rinsing and repeating. We were just doing the same again. Every 3 days we'd judge, every 3 days we'd judge, and we would just basically double the metrics each time. So if by day, for example, 9, if the ad sets that had 3 sales didn't have 6 sales or 8 sales, we turned it off and replaced it, or we basically just left it running another day, and if it didn't recover, then we'd also replace it. But that's pretty much how we tested it. It was pretty simple, guys. Testing with CBOs is very simple. It's not as complicated as many people say it is. The main part of scaling with CBOs, guys, is it's just increasing the campaign budgets on what's working. And another golden tip is what we also did with winning ad sets that had at least 3 sales. We were putting them in their own CBO campaign, and we were pulling them up with campaign budgets to doing that also. So that's another tip that I'm going to give you. Winning ad sets go in their own CBOs, and we're scaling from there as well. That's pretty much how we did the testing testing for this product. Now I'm going to go over the retargeting. So for the Facebook retargeting strategy, what we were doing is we were doing video views at 75%, video views at 95%, view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase. They were all the retargeting methods that we were doing. Obviously, it's different parts of each part of the funnel. Then we tested all the objectives with custom creatives. So for video views 75%, we made a different creative. For video views 95%, we use the same creative as the 75% one. So for view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase, there was a different creative for those different objectives, because obviously if there's somebody that's added to cart but hasn't purchased, we made a creative saying, look, we saw you were interested and you added it to your cart, but why not now buy with our 20% coupon code? And obviously for people that initiated checkout, we could say, look, we saw you checked out, but you didn't buy. Here's a 40%. So basically each part of the objective had a different creative, because obviously you're trying to address them in different manners, in different kind of scenarios. So just make sure that when you're doing retargeting, you're doing a different creative for the different objective, whether it be purchase, view content, initiate checkout, video views. Make sure that you're making it custom to the objective. So we made 5 CBO campaigns. For example, the first CBO campaign was for 180 days. Campaign 2 was for 14 days. Now you're probably thinking, Cam, what are these days you're on about? Basically, you can retarget people in certain days, the last 180 days, the last 14 days, and I'll get onto why you'd want to do that later. But basically we did 5 different campaigns targeting 180 days was the first campaign. Campaign 2 was 14 days. Campaign 3 was 7 days. Campaign 4 was 3 days, and campaign 5 was 1 day. So that's pretty much how the campaigns worked. So we did 6 ad sets, and inside the 6 ad sets there was video view 75%, video view 95%, video view content in 1 ad set, add to cart in 1 ad set, initiate checkout in 1 ad set, purchase in 1 ad set. So each ad set had a different objective. Like I just said, 1 had purchase, 1 had initiate checkout, 1 had add to cart. But make sure when you're doing retargeting, you're excluding the one next to it. So if we're doing video views 75%, would exclude video views 95%. If you're doing view content, you'd exclude add to cart. So I just want to make sure that you understand that. That's pretty much how we laid it out. We did the campaign budget for each campaign at $200. So we did $1,000 a day basically on CBOs for retargeting. We left the CBO to run for 3 days, and we did a custom creative per ad set, like I mentioned at the start of this basically objective. In terms of retargeting, we did 1 custom creative per different objective. So now I'm going to go over the Facebook retargeting scaling strategy, which is very similar to the testing strategy. So after 3 days, if an ad set didn't have 1 sale, would kill it. If the campaign ROAS was 2.5 or plus, we'd increase the budget by $100. Day 6, if there was at least 3 sales per ad set, if there wasn't, we'd kill it. If the campaign ROAS was 2.8 plus, we'd increase the budget by $150. So that's literally how we scaled the retargeting the retargeting campaigns. So now let me cover the Facebook scaling strategy for lookalike audiences. So for lookalike audiences, these were the metrics that we had. Now for lookalike audiences, we wanted to scale these really crazy, and to scale them really crazy, you need to have enough data, because if you don't have enough data, there's no point trying to scale lookalikes to as high as you can, because you just don't have enough data for Facebook to work with. So these are the kind of metrics that we look like, and you can kind of use these for your business too. We wanted video views to be at 25,000 to 50,000. Same with 95% video views. So all the video views had to be at least between 25 and 50,000. View content had to be at least 5,000. Add to carts needed to be at least 1,000. Purchases need to be at least 500 for us to even consider doing them. Now, how we scaled the actual lookalikes is we did a lookalike audience with 5 CBO campaigns. Now campaign 1 would be view content, campaign 2 would be add to cart, etc, 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 initiate checkout, purchase, all those kind of things, for example. Then we did 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10% in different ad sets. Now like I said, if you don't have enough data, this won't work. It won't spend your money, because Facebook haven't got enough to work with in terms of data. So to do 1% on its own, you need to have the data, you need to have the numbers that I mentioned before. It just won't spend. So that's the reason why we did that. We targeted the 2 best performing countries, which was the United Kingdom and the United States. So we made the CBO budget $250 per day. We used the creative that worked the best for the lookalike audiences. Now bear in mind, we used the one that worked the best in the testing phase, not the retargeting phase. Now the reason is because retargeting creatives are totally different to normal creatives. So now let me show you guys exactly how we scaled our lookalikes to the moon, and this is where we made the most money. So basically by day 3, if an ad set didn't have between 2 and 3 sales, we'd kill it. If the campaign ROAS was 2.5 or above, we'd increase the campaign budget by $200. So it'd go from 250 to 450 a day. And then by day 6, if at least there wasn't 6 to 8 sales per ad set, we'd kill it. We'll kill each ad set. So per ad set, they needed between 6 and 8 sales by day 6. If there wasn't, we'd kill the ad set. Now, if the ROAS was between 3 to 3.5, would increase the budget by $200 again. So it'd go from 450 to 650. So that's literally how we scaled our lookalikes to the moon, guys, and that's literally all we did. And again, CBO scaling is pretty simple. Just increase the budgets on what is working. Now let me go over the profit calculator with you and how we did our profits. So we use an app called Lifetimely to work out our profits and losses. Now I've gone over Lifetimely in one of my clients' case studies. Lifetimely is by one of the best apps by far for Shopify to work out your profits and your losses. It takes in your cost of goods, your marketing expenses, your tax, your transaction fees, all into consideration to help you work out what your profit is. Now, we use TaxJar for all of our taxes. Now, I'm not going to give any tax advice on today's video because I'm not an accountant. I would recommend you go and get an accountant, but TaxJar is by far the best app you can use to help out with accounts and accounting. Now, the next thing is the profit for the day, which was so we did 58,000 in one day. The profit for that was $15,660 roughly, which equated to a 27% profit margin, which is above average. Now, the reason why we had an above average profit margin was because our chargebacks and our refunds were very small and our profit margins were very high. Now, we could have exceeded a lot more, but there was a few implications that we had with some faulty goods, because obviously with electronical goods, there is a higher chance of returns because obviously with electronics, there's more things that can go wrong. So if we didn't have so many returns, we would probably hit 30% profit margin, but it's dropshipping, it happens. But that's pretty much it, guys, for today's case study. Make sure you like the video and you comment to be entered into the giveaway.